Okay, let's unpack this. I want you to picture a scenario.
Mm-hmm.
It's a classic reunion. You've got three best friends, right? High-ranking military officers.
People who have trusted each other with their lives for decades.
Exactly. They're finally getting back together after years.
Yeah.
You expect, warm hugs, shared drinks, all of that.
Sure.
But instead, you walk into the room, your friend looks at you with these just dead eyes. And when you go to punch him, just a playful tap,
Yeah. Hey, good to see you.
Your fist doesn't hit flesh, it sinks. It hits goo.
Yeah, that's a vivid image. And it certainly sets a terrifying tone for what we're covering today.
Absolutely.
We're looking at the Dreamdust and Second Light logs from Epsilon fleet.
Specifically, the nightmare scenario on Starbase 369. And this isn't just a spy story, is it? It's about identity. It's about psychological warfare.
It is. It's about what happens when the person holding the keys to the kingdom turns out to be, well, not a person at all.
We are talking about the return of the Changelings.
Which is huge, because according to the official logs, the Changelings haven't been seen in active operation for 5 years.
5 years.
Their silence has been absolute. So for one to appear now, right in the heart of Epsilon Fleet Command, that is not an accident.
No way. That's a calculated move.
It's a strategy.
So let's set the stage.
Yeah.
We have Vice Admiral Sidra MacLaren, Fleet Commander. They call her the Dragon.
Which is just an incredible nickname.
Isn't it? Then we have Rear Admiral Cintia Sha'mer. She's just returning from a long tour with the Voshun. And then there's Rear Admiral Indi Hawk.
Or at least, we think we have Indi Hawk.
Right. And that's where all the tension begins.
It is. Sha'mer arrives at the station expecting a very specific welcome. She and Indi share a telepathic link, a mental connection.
So it should be immediate, warm, like a sense of nearness, as the logs put it.
But instead, she gets nothing. Or maybe worse than nothing.
What did she get?
The logs describe it as a faint, quivering connection. Sha'mer says it felt like someone was dying, or just incredibly far away.
That's the first red flag. It's like walking into a room and the vibe is just completely off.
But on a psychic level, and this is where instinct shows, it overrides protocol.
Yeah.
Sha'mer goes to Indi's quarters with Sidra. Now, Sidra MacLaren, she's a very logic-driven commander, but even she admits that Indi hasn't felt like Indi for months.
She said she's been arguing with a shadow.
Exactly. But Sha'mer, she doesn't wait for proof. She trusts that silence in her head.
This scene is so intense, they walk in. Indi is on the bed, looking sick, won't make eye contact.
Total avoidance.
And Sha'mer has a weapon concealed in her leg brace. I mean, talk about being prepared. And she just snaps. Verbally and mentally, she just snarls, "Who are you?"
And this is where it all breaks. The entity on the bed, it doesn't try to talk its way out of it anymore.
It gives up.
It attacks Sidra, but like you said in the intro, when it strikes, it doesn't just hit her. It extends.
The goo fist. The logs say the hand morphed into goo just before the impact and then resolidified. It's pure horror.
And Sidra realizes in a split second that the physics don't make sense. The distance was...
It was all wrong. The angle, everything. And then the thought hits her, where the fuck is Indi?
And that reaction from Sidra is so crucial. She doesn't freeze.
Not for a second.
She immediately locks down the deck. Force fields, security, the works. But what stands out to me here is the immediate crisis of trust.
Oh, yeah. In a world where anyone can be anyone, who do you trust?
Right. Captain Rucker shows up to help a guy she works with every day, and Sidra points a phaser right at his chest.
And she demands proof he's human. And the code isn't a password, is it? It's a memory.
It is, Volon the Third.
And the response? Targ wrestling.
It's a moment of dark humor, but it serves this vital function. A changeling can steal data, they can steal a phase, but they can't easily steal the messy texture of a shared memory.
That's a great way to put it. That Targ wrestling comment is the only thing that keeps Rucker from getting stunned. It's like emotional encryption.
Emotional encryption. I like that.
So they bag the changeling. It's in custody. But now the reality sets in. This thing has been wearing Indi Hawk's face for months.
It's had access to fleet logistics, security protocols, everything.
And Sidra MacLaren, the fleet commander, has to deal with the fact that she let a wolf into the henhouse.
And this is where we see the real weight of command. We usually see these leaders as, stoic, unshakable figures.
Right.
But the source material gives us this rare glimpse into Sidra's breaking point. She goes into her soundproof office, and she doesn't write a report.
No.
She screams. She punches a reinforced storage column.
And her son, Will, sees it. I mean, that's got to be terrifying, seeing your mom, the dragon, literally denting the furniture.
It has to be, but it really humanizes her. She isn't a robot. She's furious.
Huh?
And notice how she handles it. She doesn't hide it once she realizes he's there.
What does she say?
She tells him, the dragon isn't about uncontrolled rage. It's about what happens when you stop pretending things aren't broken. She admits she missed the signs.
Wow. That vulnerability is actually a strength there, isn't it?
It is. She acknowledges the failure so she can fix it.
I love that detail about the reset ritual in the sonic shower.
Yeah.
She takes off her rank bars, just sets them on the desk.
Yeah.
For a few minutes, she's just Sidra, exhausted and scared for her friend. Then she showers, dresses, and snaps the rank bars back on. Click.
And she's the Admiral again.
It's like putting on armor.
It is armor. Psychological armor.
Yeah.
Because she knows what she has to do next. Secure the station and find the real Indi Hawk.
Which brings us to the most, the most mind-bending part of this deep dive.
Mm-hmm.
The real Indi Hawk is alive, but she's not on the station. She's somewhere else.
She's trapped in a simulation, a perfect digital replica of Starbase 369.
Well, perfect might be a stretch. This is where it gets really interesting for anyone who loves a good glitch in the Matrix story.
Yeah, the simulation is high quality, it looks real, smells real, but it's missing the soul.
The soul, yeah. And the logs detail how Indi figures it out. It comes down to these tiny personal details.
The coffee.
The coffee. Her simulated yeoman brings her black coffee every single morning.
And real Indi drinks Coke.
It's such a small thing, right?
Yeah.
But the simulation creates this perfect Starfleet officer, routine coffee, paperwork, meetings, and completely misses the chaotic humanity of the actual person.
It's like the programmers just use a default setting for senior officer.
Exactly. And it's not just the coffee. She tries to go to the gym to spar.
Right, to test the physics of the world, maybe hurt someone to see if they bleed.
But every time she goes, the gym is miraculously full.
It's like a video game where the developers put up an invisible wall because they didn't want you to go into a certain area. Sorry, gym's full.
It's an isolation tactic. They don't want her interacting closely with the NPCs because the illusion would shatter.
If she punches someone and they glitch out, the game is over. But the purpose of this prison isn't just containment, it's extraction.
Oh, this scene is chilling. The meeting with the simulated Sidra MacLaren.
Sidra? Yeah.
This Sidra starts grilling her. Are you ready for war? Do you think the fleet can handle a first strike? It feels like a performance review from hell.
It's an interrogation disguised as a strategy meeting. The captors, whoever is running this thing, are trying to test Epsilon fleet's psychological readiness.
They want to know, will Sidra MacLaren attack? Is the fleet ready for total war?
They're using Indi's responses to build a predictive model of their enemy. They aren't just torturing her, they're data mining her mind.
And Indi, being the absolute boss that she is, she figures this out.
Of course she does.
And she decides, okay, you want data? I'll give you data. She starts playing the role of the reckless warrior.
A brilliant countermove. She tells Sidra, let's go to war. Let's attack now.
She knows if she acts too out of character or if she shows she knows it's fake, they might just kill her or reset the program.
Right. But if she feeds them aggressive, dangerous data, she might force their hand or, at the very least, confuse their algorithms.
She's fighting a war from inside a hard drive. It's garbage in, garbage out, but as a weapon.
And there's also that creepy interaction she has with another prisoner. Or maybe she's a prisoner.
Lieutenant Commander Senatal in the mess hall.
Yeah, this part is really ambiguous and unsettling. Tal notices Indi is annoyed, which is an anomaly in the simulation where everyone else is just placid.
And Tal feels isolated, ignored. Is she another captive? Or is she a glitching program that's gaining sentience?
The logs say she feels like she's screaming in a crowded room and no one turns around. It's just, ugh.
It gives you the shivers.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, back in the real world, what we hope is the real world, Sidra MacLaren is dealing with a geopolitical nightmare.
And the timing is critical. While Sidra is locking down the station, Captain McKinney on the USS Valley Forge reports that a Kaldari councilman, the Sace Kalan, has been poisoned.
A political assassination. And at the same time, the Vathari, a hostile species in the region, are jamming all communications.
But Sidra and the director of Starfleet Security, Vice Admiral Max Flamia, they realize something terrifying.
This isn't just random aggression.
No, the Vathari's moves feel informed.
So Sidra gets on the line with Max Flamia. And I love the vibe between these two, by the way. Very professional, we've seen it all.
They're veterans.
She tells him that the Changeling didn't just steal secrets. It stole logistics, supply chains, deployment schedules.
And this is the so what of the entire deep dive. The Changeling wasn't there to sabotage one system. They were preparing the battlefield.
They know exactly how long it takes Epsilon fleet to mobilize. They know where the fuel comes from. They know who's commanding which ship.
It's like playing poker, but your opponent has been standing behind you looking at your cards for the last 6 months. Sidra says they weren't just observing, they were preparing.
And you have to remember, the Changelings have been gone for 5 years. To come back like this, to infiltrate a Rear Admiral's life, it suggests a massive coordinated effort.
They didn't just walk through the front door, they became the person holding the door open.
So Sidra locks down the station. Tight. No shuttles, transporter only, randomized screenings.
She has to. She tells her son Will, we will fix inconvenience. We will not fix compromise. Such a hard line.
But it's necessary, right? She has to assume that Indi Hawk wasn't the only one.
Of course. If they could replace a flag officer who says they didn't replace a transporter chief or a security guard.
Or the person making the coffee.
Ugh, don't make me paranoid about my barista. But that's the reality they're in now.
And it creates a state of total paranoia. We see it with that civilian, Deirdre Arlen.
Right, in the cafe.
She's terrified because Internal Affairs visited her. She refuses to help a commander because she's scared of being flagged. The tension just trickles down from the Admiral's office to the promenade.
The whole station is holding its breath.
So let's summarize the board here. We have a Changeling in a force field cell looking smug.
We have the real Indi Hawk trapped in a digital prison, drinking fake coffee and plotting a mental rebellion.
And we have a fleet on the brink of war with the Vithari, who seem to know Starfleet's every move before they even make it.
And we have Sidra MacLaren, the dragon, who has cleaned up her office, put her rank bars back on, and is ready to burn down the galaxy to get her friend back.
I would not want to be the Vithari right now.
Or the Changelings, for that matter. But this raises a really important question.
What's that?
Sidra is reacting to the immediate threat, the Vithari aggression. But if the Changelings are pulling the strings, is the war with the Vithari just a distraction?
Oh, that's a scary thought. A proxy war. Weaken the fleet before the real enemy shows up.
Precisely. If Epsilon fleet empties its magazines fighting the Vithari, what's left when the Dominion shows up? Or when the Changelings decide to deactivate the station's shields from the inside?
And we still don't know where the real Indi is physically located. She's in the simulation mentally, but her body
Could be anywhere. On a ship, on a planet, or hidden right there on the station.
That faint telepathic link Sha'mer has might be the only GPS they have.
It's a race against time, and for Indi, a race against sanity.
So here's a final thought for you to chew on. Sidra MacLaren has locked down the physical station. She's scanning everyone.
Right.
But Indi Hawk is fighting a war inside a perfect copy of that station. If the Changelings could replace a Rear Admiral and access fleet logistics for months without anyone noticing.
Who else has already been replaced?
And when that first shot is finally fired, will Epsilon fleet be fighting the Vithari?
Or will they realize too late that the enemy is already on the bridge with them?
That is a terrifying thought to leave you with. So, check your coffee orders, everyone.
Yeah.
If your friend suddenly changes their caffeine preference, maybe ask them a question only they would know.
Something about targ wrestling, maybe.
It could save your life.
It really could.
Thanks for listening to this deep dive into the Epsilon fleet logs. We'll be watching the comms for updates on Admiral Hawk. Stay safe out there.